Oh, let the solid ground not fail beneath my feet before my life has found what some have found so sweet. Then let come what come may, what matter if I go mad? I shall have had my day. Let the sweet heavens endure, not close and darken above me, before I am quite sure that there is one to love me. Then let come what come may, to a life that has been so sad, I shall have had my day. Birds in the high hall garden, when twilight was falling, Maud. They were crying and calling. Where was Maud? In our wood. And I, who else was with her, gathering woodland lilies, myriads blow together. Birds in our wood sang, ringing through the valleys, Maud is here, 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 in among the lilies. I kissed her slender hand, she took the kiss sedately. Maud is not 17, but she is tall and stately. Birds in the high hall garden were crying and calling to her, where is Maud, Maud, Maud? One is come to woo her. Look, a horse at the door, and little King Charlie snarling, go back, my lord, across the moor, you are not her darling. Scorned? To be scorned by one that I scorn? Is that a matter to make me fret? That a calamity hard to be borne? Well, he may live to hate me yet. Fool that I am to be vexed with his pride. I passed him. I was crossing his lands. He stood on the path a little aside. His face, as I grant, in spite of spite, has a broad-blown comeliness, red and white, and 6'2" as I think he stands. But his essences turned the live air sick, and barbarous opulence, jewel thick, suns itself on his breast and his hands. Now, who shall call me ungentle, unfair? I longed so heartily then and there to give him the grasp of fellowship. But while I passed, he was humming an air, stopped, and then with a riding whip, leisurely tapping a glossy boot and curving a contumelious lip, gorgonized me from head to foot with a stony British stare. Why sits he here in his father's chair? That old man never comes to his place. Shall I believe him ashamed to be seen? For only once, in the village street, last year I caught a glimpse of his face, a grey old wolf and a lean. And fair without, faithful within, Maud to him is nothing akin. Some peculiar mystic grace made her only the child of her mother, and heaped the whole inherited sin on that huge scapegoat of the race, all upon the brother. Peace, angry spirit, and let him be. Has not his sister smiled on me? Maud has a garden of roses and lilies fair on the lawn. There she walks in her state and tends upon bed and bower. And thither I climbed at dawn and stood by her garden gate. A lion ramps at the top. He is clasped by a passion flower. I heard no sound where I stood, but the rivulet on from the lawn running down to my own dark wood, or the voice of the long sea wave as it swelled now and then in the dim grey dawn. But I looked, and all round the house I beheld the death-white curtain drawn, felt a horror over me creep, prickle my skin and catch my breath, knew that the death-white curtain meant but sleep. Yet I shuddered, and thought like a fool of the sleep of death. So dark a mind within me dwells, and I make myself such evil cheer, that if I be dear to someone else, then someone else may have much to fear. But if I be dear to someone else, then I should be to myself more dear. Shall I not take care of all that I think, yea, even of wretched meat and drink, if I be dear to someone else? That lump of earth has left his estate, the lighter by the loss of his weight, and so that he find what he went to seek, he may stay for a year who has gone for a week.